Hi everybody, welcome to Reading ABCs. My name is Julie Dries and I'm the Children's Librarian at the Harrison Township Public Library. For Reading ABCs, we work with beginning readers and we explore letters of the alphabet and the sounds that they make, words that contain them, and do some pre-reading skills. So if you have little ones, now's the time to go grab them, and we're going to be singing some songs, doing a story, and taking a look at this letter today. Before we look at our special letter of today, let's look at all of the letters of the alphabet. Here's our ABC line. I've got some ABCs behind me there too. There's ABCs everywhere today. And I would like you to help me sing the ABC song. Can you do that? Get your singing voice ready, and here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? How are we doing with that ABC song? You guys know these letters? We're getting there, aren't we? So today, our special letter is behind me here. And if we look for it on our letter line, we have A, B, C. What's that one? D. And that's exactly our letter today. Our letter of the day is the letter D. So, all kinds of things with the letter D over here, and we're going to sing our song about it. Do you remember how it goes? What is our letter today? What is our letter today? D is our letter today. D is our letter today. What is our letter today? What is our letter today? D is our letter today. D is our letter today. And the letter D makes a certain sound. So we have a song for that too. What does the D say? What do we hear when we make a D sound? Well, the D says D. The D says D. Every letter makes a sound. The D says D. The D says D. The D says D. Every letter makes a sound. The D says D. Okay, so that's the sound that we hear when we hear a D, is the D, D, D sound. And let's see how we make a D. When we're drawing a D on a piece of paper, we have to start at the top of our drawing space. And we start at the top and we make a line that goes down. That's our first line, is 1. Then we come back up to the top with our pencil or whatever we're writing with, and we're going to make a curved line that goes all the way around and meets the bottom of our first line there. So we go 1, bring it back up, and 2. Let's do some finger drawing. Get your fingers. Let's put our finger up in the air because we start at the top, and we're going to draw a straight line down. So draw it with me. Say 1. Now go back up to the top and make that curved line and say 2. Let's do that again. Start at the top, 1 straight down, go up to the top and make a curve, 2. And that's our capital D or our uppercase D or our big D. Let's make our little d or our small d or our lowercase d. Now this one looks a little familiar. If you watched us when we did our reading ABCs with the letter B, the small b looks a lot like a small or a lowercase d, but they face different directions. The stick is on the different side of the circle. So we start up at the top for our first line and say 1, and then we come up and make our circle go around for 2. So let's do that. 1 and 2. Let's do our finger drawing. Start up at the top. 1 and 2. Make sure you make it on the right side. 1 and 2. Parents, if you have kids that get the small b or the lowercase b and d mixed up, one of the things you can do is take your fists like this. And when you're looking at your fists like this, the one on the left will look like a B, and the one on the right will look like a D. And you can say in the word bed, we have B and then an E and a D. So you can keep those straight. Or you can say that B comes first in the alphabet and then comes D in ABC order. So the B comes before the D. And when you look at these from your perspective, you can see the B and the D. All right, so that's an easy way to help kids who are having a hard time distinguishing between those two letters that look real similar. So we said the D says D. Here's some words that start with that D sound. This is a little guy that you might put in the tub with you. It is a duck. That's a duck, or we might even say ducky, right? That's a little rubber ducky, starts with a D. This is somebody that we might go to see when we're sick or even just for a checkup to make sure we're healthy. This is a doctor. Say doctor. Doctor starts with a D. Here's a delicious treat that starts with a D. A donut. Donut starts with a D sound. And here's a pet that some of us might have at home. Starts with a D. Dog. Dog starts with a D. Dog. And those are some D words. I have another D word here that I wrote. I started this one with a capital D because this is a very important person. And Lila is going to help us now. We're going to break down this word, take apart the sounds, and then blend the sounds back together and figure the word out. So we have 3 sounds in this word. The first sound is a D. Say D. That's our D. And we're going to tap our shoulder when we make the first sound. So say D. Now the second sound is an A, which says ah. So for our second sound, we're going to tap our elbow and say ah. So now we have D, ah. D, ah. And our last sound, does this look familiar? We have a D here too. So our last sound, we'll tap our wrist and say D. So we have D, add. Can you hear what word we're making there? D, add. Let's put it together. When we slide our arm down, we're going to blend all those sounds together. D, add. Dad. Dad. That word is dad. D, add. Dad. We can take the word dad and do some rhyming words with it. What if we take off the D at the beginning and instead we put a s, sad, sad. Say sad dad. Sad and dad are rhyming words. We hope dad's not sad, but those words rhyme, dad, sad. What if we take off the beginning sound again? We'll keep the add, and let's put a b at the beginning, the B sound. B, add, bad. Say bad dad. Bad dad. Those are rhyming words. Say bad, sad dad. Yep, all of those words rhyme. All we did was change the beginning sound and we left the last sounds in the word. And that's what rhyming words are. Let's do our story where we're going to count all the D's that we can find in here. Let's bring them up close to the camera here so that we can see what this says. So we have here a girl and her name is Dawn. Can you say Dawn? Dawn. Dawn digs all day deep down in the dirt. Dig, Dawn, dig. There she is. She's making a pretty big hole there. Can you help me spot all of the D's? I know sometimes they're hard to find. Let's see if we can get them all. I sometimes miss them, so help me out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I counted 14 D's. Did you count 14 D's too? Or did I miss some? How many did you count? All right. I hope we both got the same number, but you never know. Those D's can be sneaky. Now we have our story here. We're going to do a little book here today. And it is about another D word. It is about dinosaurs. And the title of our book is How Do Dinosaurs Clean Their Rooms? It is written by authors Jane Yolen and Mark Teague. So let's find out, how do dinosaurs clean their rooms? How does a dinosaur clean up his room? With a big bucket loader, or shovel, or broom? We've got some rhyming words here, don't we? Say room, broom. Those are rhyming words. Look at that. He's got a messy room, doesn't he? Does he stick all his teddy bears under the bed, or shove them all into his closet instead? Say bed instead. Yep, bed instead. Rhyming words. I don't know if that counts as cleaning your room if you just shove them under your bed. Do you think that counts? I don't know. Doesn't seem like he's solving the problem. Does he put dirty socks in the back of his drawers? Does he hide his old jammies behind bathroom doors? No, a dinosaur doesn't. He does all his chores. He picks up his toys and he puts them in rows. Look at how neat he's being. He's dusting there. What does dusting start with? Yeah, he's doing all his chores. And into his hamper he throws dirty clothes, and all the ripped paper goes into the basket before either Mama or Papa can ask it. Good job, dinosaur. His room is quite tidy, the shelves, bed, and floor. Thank you, little dinosaur. And there we go. And look at their faces. How do you think everybody feels now that the room is clean? Yeah, that's a good feeling to have a clean room, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. So that is how dinosaurs clean their rooms. For our final thing today, we're going to do a finger play. Get your fingers ready. Are you ready to do a finger play? Now this finger play is about something that starts with the letter D, and I'm going to show you a picture so you know, because I don't know if you've seen one of these before, but maybe you have. Have you seen these guys before? They're called a dragonfly. Dragonfly. And up at my cottage this week, I was watching dragonflies hatch. And it's really, really cool. They come out of a shell that looks kind of like a bug, and they hatch out of that, and they sit there and they let their wings dry, and when their wings are dry, then they fly away, and they fly around and they eat lots and lots of bugs like mosquitoes. So they're really good guys to have around, and they look kind of big and they look kind of scary, but they're really good and they will never hurt you. They don't bite. So we're going to turn our fingers into some dragonflies. So we need one hand for this. So show me one finger. Okay. So one little dragonfly with 4 shiny wings. Show me another one. 2 little dragonflies learning how to sing. Can you put up 3? 3 little dragonflies zipping up and down. Let's make your dragonflies go up and down. 4 little dragonflies. See how you make 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 1 down. 4 little dragonflies resting on the ground. Show me all of them. How many do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 little dragonflies going home for lunch. Along came a frog and munch, munch, munch. Can you do that with your other hand? Munch, munch, munch. Everybody's eating lunch. Say munch lunch. What do you hear when you hear munch lunch? You're right. Those are rhyming words. And with that, let's sing one more song about our letter of the day. What was our letter today? What was our letter today? What was our letter today? D was our letter today. D was our letter today. What was our letter today? What was our letter today? D was our letter today. D was our letter today. And you know what I'm going to ask you to do? We're going to find some more D words around the house. We're going to get out some paper and we're going to make some letter Ds. You know what else you can do, parents, is if you have sand in a sandbox or at a playground or something, you can draw your letters in the sand too. That's kind of a fun thing to do. Or put some shaving cream out on a pan and practice drawing your letters. That's another really good way to practice with some tactile practice with drawing letters. So I hope you enjoyed your letter D. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.